Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and in today's video let's talk about what happens and what you should do when air traffic control clears you direct to a waypoint that is not on your flight plan. This is a situation that we hear on VATSIM very often. ATC clears you direct to a certain waypoint, then there's a long period of silence, and eventually the pilot replies, "I cannot find that on my flight plan." Well, that is not a problem at all, and indeed ATC probably still wants you to fly direct to the waypoint. Now, what should you do then? Well, let's assume that we're in such a situation. We have prepared for an ILS approach onto runway 26 right in Munich over here. I have entered my rokill 26 transition, and now air traffic control wants us to fly to the waypoint Delta Mike 424. We go on to the direct page, and all of a sudden we notice we don't have that on our plan. Now, on VATSIM, many people just say, "I don't have that on my flight plan." And then air traffic control will tell you, "Yes, but I want you to fly there anyway." So what should you do then? Well, first of all, actually do fly to that waypoint. Let's say ATC wants us to fly Delta Mike 424. Now, if you are unsure about exactly what the waypoint is spelled, then do ask him. You can at any time ask ATC to spell a waypoint by using exactly that phrase. "Please spell the waypoint." And actually leave the "please" out. That is not technically phraseology. Now, next up, we need to actually insert it. And you can not only select the waypoint from the list down there, in your favorite Boeing aircraft, by the way, that goes as well. You can not only select the new waypoint, but you can also type it in. Let's say Delta Mike 424. So we are going to enter it at the top, and then we just see like, oh, okay, so this is where ATC wants us to fly to. Now, once we execute that maneuver, so once we press the insert button over here, you will get a flight plan discontinuity right after the waypoint in question. So this is what the route looks like now. Obviously, we do need to tidy the flight plan up if we already know what it's going to look like. And if we don't yet know what our route is going to look like, it might be a good idea to start heading over to your approach chart and see if there is, for example, a transition available from somewhere off the point that you've been cleared to. If you cannot determine what the further routing after this off-flight plan waypoint is going to look like, you can at any point ask air traffic control to confirm the further routing after the waypoint, and then air traffic control is going to tell you something. Now, when you do insert a waypoint like this, always have a good look at your navigation display to verify that you're not flying to a waypoint that's a couple thousand miles away. That danger obviously always exists, and we need to mitigate against that by looking at our nav display when confirming the waypoint and when hitting the execute button. Now, in our case, it is quite clear Delta Mike 424 lies right on the transition, as you can see on the transition chart over here. We had inserted the rokill 26 transition, which goes like this, and ATC simply gave us a shortcut to one of the waypoints right on the transition. Now, it is standard that you might not have every single waypoint of transition in your nav database, because imagine if you had a waypoint here every 4 nautical miles. Your entire approach would become completely cluttered with all the text of all those waypoint names, and in the end it would just get difficult to actually determine where your waypoints are and what everything looks like. So, now that we know where we are going, we need to sequence our flight plan. Now, this is rather easy. We can see now that we've got the waypoint that we just entered at the top, then we've got a discontinuity, and right after that we do have the original routing. Now, looking at the chart over here, we can see that after 424 come a couple of further waypoints, and then we end up at 429. So this is just what I am going to enter now, so that I've basically entered my routing like we fly to the point like this now, and then we just continue down on the star. If you're unsure about which next waypoint to go for, by all means do ask air traffic control, but usually with a look at the approach chart you will be able to determine a course of action. Now, a nice Airbus feature over here, if you just type the waypoint in, we put it right after the waypoint in question, you can see it's now deleted everything in between. We can press the insert button and that's it. Our routing is now completely cleaned up again. Very nice and easy like that. In Boeing, you can do the same thing by just copying your waypoint out of the legs page, or by copying the successive waypoint that you want after the newly entered one and just put it below the newly entered one, and then the Boeing is also going to delete anything that you previously had in between. Alright, and that is pretty much what to do when you get a direct tune of flight plan waypoint. In the en route area, if you're unsure, just ask air traffic control for where they want you to fly next. In the terminal area, you will usually be able to figure something out using your approach charts, and if not, then you can also always ask air traffic control. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope that you learned something. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to your feedback, and as always, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like on YouTube as well. Leave a comment to let me know what you think about it, and if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. With that, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. As always, if you really love what I'm doing over here, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. And until then, I see you all again on the next one.